Why I hardly tell anyone about my fear of dogs. I want to say my fear of dogs started around when I was 8.5 or 9. Every time a dog would bark I would cry. I almost got my face bitten off by a dog, so that really just messed me up. It got worse as the years go by. Now it's to the point of me trying to avoid dogs at all costs. I can't even walk in my own neighborhood, it's that bad. I'm trying to get over my fear, but it's extremely difficult and hard for me. I hardly talk about it with anyone, except my therapist. The reason being, I'm so afraid of being judged or laughed at. If someone laughs when I tell them, it triggers my anxiety. It makes me feel humiliated. It makes me think, you don't understand and you never will. It makes me cry. I hardly tell anyone. My mom knows and is very supportive, especially when I have panic attacks. So the point of this story is that I'm finally comfortable opening up about this. Thank you for reading. When I was a little kid, my sister got attacked by our babysitter's dog. It was very bad. I was older and bigger than her. But I wasn't able to stop it. I was scared of dogs for a long time after that. Then when I grew up and had my own kids, they really wanted a dog. So we ended up adopting a puppy. I had to train her because the kids were too young. Now she's an old lady dog and she still follows me around the house with her nose in the back of my knee. I think it's reasonable to be scared of loose dogs when you're out walking. Especially a group of loose dogs. Many people in my neighborhood carry a golf club or baseball bat when they're walking, because of the dogs. Extally. I really don't trust strangers' dogs. Thanks for sharing. I've worked and trained with dogs for 7 years and now work at a vet. A fear of dogs is completely valid even if you never got hurt by one. People cannot figure out to drive properly, let alone train an animal with its own wants and desires. My own dog is not allowed to go up to other dogs until I can check them out first. Do you? And if it means not liking dogs, no worries. Pet rocks can be just as cool and you can throw the at people when needed. I feel you up. I was attacked while trying to call a dog off my sister when I was maybe 7. I still have the scars 20 years later, both emotional and physical. People were constantly trying to get me to get to know their dog because there was something special about theirs that would magically cure me. None of them were ever that special. There is hope though. Although barking and being around new dogs still stresses me out, and if a dog runs at me I still freeze. I've learned to better recognize their behaviors and actually own a dog now who we meticulously train to not be like the dogs who set me off. I'm so sorry you're going through this now. But I hope you have a similar or better experience of healing. One of my best friends has a pretty visible scar on her mouth where she was bitten as a kid. She was terrified of dogs for a long time. Her kids, however, loved my dog. Eventually she was okay near her. And at the end she loved her like I did. She was actually with me when it was time to put her down, after a stroke. I always remind her she loved one dog and she always tells me she was no dog. She was a furry person. I hope someday you find a furry person who can heal you too, even if just a little bit.